The holiday season is fast approaching, and we're going to give you some Christmas recommendations.
Let's talk about it.
Hello there, Clapperheads, and welcome to a brand new edition of ClapperTalks. I'm Nick Dorian.
And I'm Kelvin Tay.
And yes, the holiday season, it's coming. It's in a few weeks. So we're going to give you some films that might not be in your peripheral of Christmas films, but should be watched either way during this holiday season.
I just want to preface that, yes, we are going to talk about Christmas/winter themed films, and we will not be talking about
Die Hard
and
Home Alone.
Yes, because if you are not watching those two during the holiday season, then what are you doing? Anyways,
so to kick things off, I will go first.
Okay.
And mine is a bit controversial because some people call it a Halloween film. Some people call it a Christmas film.
Okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this?
Interesting. And why did you pick that?
Because Nightmare Before Christmas, for me, it's a film that's very dear to my heart. Because when I was growing up, we all grew up with cartoons, say like Transformers, Ninja Turtles, things like that.
Okay.
And then this comes along, literally a year before Lion King, my other favorite film. And I remember watching it and going, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
This is something completely different because, of course, it's Tim Burton. It's a lot darker. It's involving skeletons and monsters and all that. But there was just some sort of charm about it. And the musical numbers as well by Danny Elfman is just top-notch. I still remember the words to this day. It's something that has stayed with me for the rest of my life. And it's a film that I watch both on Halloween and on Christmas. So it's double duty. You can watch it twice in a year.
Fair enough.
For those who don't know, Nightmare Before Christmas is about a skeleton, Jack Skellington, a being from Halloween Town, who finds Christmas Town and is instantly enchanted. This situation becomes riveting when his obsession with Christmas leads him to abduct Santa Claus. That's essentially the premise. It's next to Batman, it's one of my all-time favorite Tim Burton films.
Okay.
And even though it wasn't directed by Tim Burton, a lot of people think it is. Henry Selick directed it, but Tim Burton executive produced it. But you can see his influence all over.
Okay. I mean, going on the theme of like animated slash what's this called again?
Stop motion.
Motion. I actually wanted to save this for the last.
Okay.
I have a movie that I like to watch on Christmas.
All right.
Okay. It's not Home Alone. It's not Die Hard. It's a animated movie called Tokyo Godfathers by the very amazing, very unfortunate late Satoshi Kon. Right? Tokyo Godfathers.
この子は神様がくださったクリスマスプレゼント。私たちの子供よ。
Have you actually heard
No,
of this
I've never
before?
heard of
Oh
Tokyo
my God.
Godfathers.
You guys are in for a treat, man. Because Tokyo Godfathers is one of those animated films that went under the radar. Not a lot of people talk about it. Not a lot of people know about it. And the summary of it is middle-aged alcoholic Jin, teenage runaway Miyuki, and former drag queen Hana are a trio of homeless people surviving a makeshift family on the streets of Tokyo. While rummaging in the trash for food on Christmas Eve, they stumble upon an abandoned newborn baby in a trash bin. With only a handful of clues to the baby's identity, the three misfits search for the streets of Tokyo for help in returning the baby to its parents.
That is a very interesting premise.
I mean, like all things Satoshi Kon, if you guys don't know who Satoshi Kon is, unfortunately he passed away in 2010. He has amazing animated films like Perfect Blue, Paprika, Millennium Actress, and Memories, one of my favorite animated trilogy films, right? The art for Tokyo Godfathers is beautiful. It's vibrant. It's Tokyo. It's Christmassy.
That is nice.
And I picked this mainly because of the whole Christmas theme.
Yeah.
Again, one of those films that really went under the radar for a lot of people. But if you just want a cozy get together with a couple of friends, over like eggnogs, drinks, or something halal, for example.
Yes.
Sit down, have a meal, put this on. Beautiful story, beautiful film.
Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of Paprika, if you all haven't seen Paprika, if you've seen Inception, please go and watch Paprika because
highly inspired.
Yes.
Yeah. Inception inspired by
Inception
Paprika,
was
yeah.
inspired by
Yeah.
Paprika. It's messed up.
And
It's
also
messed
Perfect
up.
Blue.
Yes.
And also Perfect Blue.
But I remember watching Paprika for the first time and I'm like, what the hell is this? But it's brilliant.
Just a side note, right? A very
Yes.
quick honorable mention. If you just want a good animated film, all right, this film is called Memories. It's broken down into 3 parts as well.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, it's broken down into 3 parts, but also by the amazing Satoshi Kon. Won't spoil much of it, but it's called Memories 1995.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go find that. Now, keeping along with the spirit of animation, even though this is sort of live action, Muppet Christmas Carol.
Muppet Christmas.
Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine.
Humbug. He was the greediest man alive
It's Ebenezer Scrooge.
until the night he met someone extraordinary.
Hello.
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
I'll drink to Mr. Scrooge, even though he is odious and stingy and badly dressed.
Humbug.
Now, it might be
1992.
an odd choice. Yes, it might be an odd choice, but this is something that I religiously have watched every year. I try and make it my Christmas tradition, Muppet Christmas Carol, because amongst all the other Christmas Carol tales out there, and let's face it, there are loads of them, there's just something so warm and comforting about Muppet Christmas Carol. And it's funny because this morning I literally saw an article of how Michael Caine got into Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay.
And he got the news when he was doing a play at the Royal Shakespeare Company. And he said, I don't care if it's Muppets. I don't care if it's a family film. I'm going to play it as dramatic as possible, as if it was the real Christmas Carol. And I think it works so well.
Oh my God, okay.
Because he is straight acting like he's Scrooge, but then you have all these Muppets around him dancing and singing. It's great.
I've never watched Muppets before. Any. At all.
So after Blade, we get you to watch Muppets.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Well, hopefully
But-
the Blade
but-
day will come soon.
Looking at Michael Caine,
Yeah.
it's a big sell for me because I'm a huge fan of Michael Caine.
Okay, you will love Michael Caine in this.
Okay.
It's fun, it's lovable, it's heartwarming, it's a perfect Christmas film, if I could say so myself,
Okay.
Muppet Christmas Carol. So go and watch that.
The next one I have on the list is one of my favorite Jim Carrey films.
Okay.
Again, sticking to the whole winter Christmas theme, I am of course talking about the 2000s How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes.
This is one of those happy ending, all jolly Christmas films.
Yeah.
And I mean, growing up as a kid, I was freaked out at the Grinch, right? And coming from like an Asian Chinese upbringing, don't know much about Christmas, but when we watch the Grinch, it's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Right? And you can see how mischievous, how chaotic the Grinch is because he's like the anti-hero to Santa Claus, right?
Yeah.
He makes everything horrible for everyone. But then saw this girl, I forgot, is it Cindy Lou?
Yeah, Cindy
Yeah.
Lou Who.
Cindy Lou Who. Amazing film. I feel like if you have kids around the age of 6, 7, or around 10, one of the best films to just put on for your family,
Yeah.
even as adults. Just sit down. It's a feel good film.
Yeah.
It's a feel good film, right? And nothing beats storytelling in the 2000s because it's so chaotic. It's like The Mask, for example.
Yeah.
Right? Another Jim Carrey film. Highly recommend How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
And it was all practical effects.
And it's
before
also
the age
all
of
practical.
CGI.
Yes.
And
yes.
the fact that Jim Carrey had to go under CIA training for the Grinch just because of all that makeup.
Did he really?
Yeah. He had to be trained by the CIA because he was going to be under those layers of makeup and
yeah?
everything. So they had to give him sort of this claustrophobic training kind of thing because he was in it from morning until night. Doing all this.
Okay.
So yeah, he had CIA training just to regulate himself and not get too stressed out by wearing all that makeup.
That is crazy, man.
I would also mention the animated Grinch That Stole Christmas, the Benedict
19
Cumberbatch one,
the-
the newer one.
Not the 1966
No, the original is the original. That's a classic. But the newer one, that Benedict Cumberbatch was the Grinch, he also did quite a good job. It's a lot more family friendly, that one.
2018.
Yeah. It's a...
2018, yeah.
2018. It's a lot more family friendly because it is a cartoon.
Oh, I've never watched this before.
Oh, I would recommend it, yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
Maybe a back-to-back feature?
yes.
Okay.
Like, the Jim Carrey one is a massive classic. This one, it doesn't reach the same height, but it's still an enjoyable watch.
Okay.
For Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch. Now, my last one on the list is a very odd one. And children of the 90s, please tell me you remember this film, and please tell me you've wanted that doll in this film. This is called Jingle All the Way.
Every holiday season, there's one toy everyone has to have.
I want the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the rock and roll jetpack, and the boomerang shooter.
Now, this is a film with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, the comedian. And it's about Howard, a mattress salesman who's always busy with work. Then on Christmas Eve, he finds himself running all over town and competing with every parent to get his son a Turbo Man action figure. Now, when I was a kid and I saw this film, I desperately wanted a Turbo Man figure with Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice because he was Turbo Man as well. Seriously, if you all wanted one, can you please mention it in the comments down below so I know I'm not alone on this, I wanted a Turbo Man doll?
I've seen pictures of this film before.
Yes.
But I never knew the name of the film. It's called Jingle All the Way.
Yes.
It's comedy.
Yes, it is an outright comedy, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is fantastic.
Just to deter the conversation a bit here. Okay, so since you recommended this film, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's rated 20%. Okay, what would you say to the people who are like, okay, let's Google this film? Oh, hey, Nick, it's 20% lah. How?
Not all good films are perfect. And don't believe some reviews sometimes. Like, look, as much as the bad reviews is, just look down, you'll find some gems. Because I feel this is an underrated classic.
Okay.
Like, it is, sure, it's not the greatest film in the world, but you are going to have so much fun with it.
Looking at how it came out in like 1996, is there a lot of like, stupid comedy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Like, one of my favorite parts of this is his neighbor sort of has a crush on the wife. And he always feels like he's trying to invade the wife's space and trying to get with her and whatnot. And the neighbor is played by the late, great Phil Hartman before he passed. And there's one scene where he's on the phone. Arnold Schwarzenegger is trying to get the Turbo Man and he's on the phone.
Okay.
And he calls the house and then the neighbor picks up. And he's like, what the hell are you doing there? And Phil Hartman goes, I'm having a cookie, which ultimately is one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger lines of all time. It could be, I'll be back. It could be, get to the chopper, but no.
I'm having a cookie.
It is, put the cookie down. It is my all-time favorite Arnold line of him just yelling into the phone, you put the cookie down.
I never even knew Turbo Man was a thing.
Yes. So yes.
Okay. I'll check this out. I like how we created this episode and we were like, okay, we pick 3 things each.
Yep.
And we just recommend it without even telling each other what we're picking in the first place, right? And I love this, and I hope you guys actually follow the list of what we're recommending because Jingle All the Way looks like a very fun time.
It's one of those films where you know you're guaranteed to have a fun, stupid time.
Okay.
Like, you're going to leave it and go, yeah, it wasn't great, but damn, it was fun. Yeah.
The last film that I'm going to recommend is a all-time classic, and I feel like it's on par with like Die Hard and like Home Alone.
Okay.
Not in terms of like, action or even family comedy. It's Groundhog Day.
Groundhog time.
1,000 people freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat.
Weatherman Phil Connors is spending the day in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania.
Phil?
Oh, yes.
And I feel like if going into Christmas, I don't know why I'm just compelled to start watching Groundhog Day again.
Yeah.
Because it's a tradition for me Like for you, Muppets is the tradition, but
Yeah.
for me, Groundhog Day is my Christmas. Like besides Home Alone, okay?
Yeah.
Besides, we don't talk about Home Alone 3. We don't talk about Home Alone 3.
Nothing goes past Home Alone 2. There's no
exactly.
other Home Alone
Right?
film apart from that.
Groundhog Day to me is one of those creme de la creme of like family comedy, romance, end of the year, winter season film.
Yeah.
Right? It's funny, it's intriguing, it's repetitive.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
Right? How do I even explain Groundhog Day?
Bill Murray with a groundhog. That's the best way.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that, right? So yeah, Groundhog Day is was supposed to be the first film that I'm going to recommend, but I kind of went backwards.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day, again, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I feel like this is one of the best holiday season films out there. It has romance, it has action, it has a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And most importantly, it has snow. That's why I'm recommending this for your winter, end of the year, unwinding with your family. Fantastic film.
And also a musical. There's a Groundhog Day musical. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, there is.
That's a Groundhog Day?
There's a Groundhog Day musical. I don't know if it did well or not, but there was a Groundhog Day musical.
Like a legit musical,
Like a legit musical. Groundhog Day the musical. I think it premiered on Broadway.
What?
At some point.
Yeah, it is. You
Yeah,
are right. You are right.
So
damn.
yes, if you are planning to sit down with your family and have a good time this holiday season, if you celebrate it, hopefully we have recommended some films that are guaranteed to give you a warm, fuzzy glow on the inside. And if it didn't, we're sorry.
Well, just keep watching The Grinch.
Yes.
Right? Because you can probably relate a lot to The Grinch.
Yes.
And anyways,
If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube.
and if you want to learn more about the Malaysian podcasting landscape, go to www.renegadeplus.com. That was our old website.
That's why I was like, is that the old website?
Yeah, that is the old website. Sorry, it's like a mental script already, right?
Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And as always, keep watching the movies. Boop, boop.